For the next part of the exercise of setting up, we're going to use this screwdriver, this fine screwdriver that we will have supplied with your machine. So we've got our bobbin in our bobbin case, and with the bobbin uppermost, pop it in the palm of your hand. Now take up the thread that is coming underneath the spring and see if you can just have it come out of your hand. So if I pull up on it and let it go, it just lovely and smoothly moves down. I don't have to jiggle with it. It's not like a spider on a web where I have to do this in order for it to come down. It actually is just lovely and smooth. You need to use a full bobbin to do this test. If you've got a similar thread or the same thread on a fully wound bobbin, you may want to keep that to do a test. If it isn't correct, the bigger of the two screws on the spring is what we're going to adjust. So say it was too loose, you couldn't even pick it up, and I'm just going to demonstrate that. So this is now too loose. I can't even get it to come upright. It's nothing's doing. So that is way too loose. With the bobbin tension, I'll put that in the bin in a bit. With the bobbin tension, it's a small adjustment. Having said that, that was really extreme. So I'm going to adjust that by 10 minutes of a clock face just to begin with and see whether that improves. It's okay, but it's not even starting to come out of my hand. So I need to do a little bit more. I'll try 5 minutes this time. So 5 minutes more of a clock face. Now I can get it upright and it just nicely, smoothly goes down. But say it was too tight. What would happen? There. Not even moving in the bin. So what do? We reduce the tension. We reduce the tension by turning it to the left, lefty-loosey. So I'll turn that by 5 minutes of a clock face, and let's see what it's doing now. Just pull a little bit in case it's got stuck. But look, that's just coming down very, very slowly. I need to move it more. That's still, I'm having to jiggle it to get it to come down. So that was 5 minutes, and now another couple of extra minutes, and now I'm happy with that. I'm going to be doing this one-on-one with you. So don't worry if that seems puzzling or difficult or I've run through it too quickly, but I wanted to give you an overview now, and we'll step through it one-on-one. This is now ready to go into the bobbin case assembly area, which is underneath the table. Underneath the table is a flap. Don't forget the flap's there because it hurts your hand if you whack it into the flap. So undo the flap. It's on a spring, it's on a hinge. The bobbin case, when you're putting it in the bobbin case assembly, that latch door should be pointing at the 3 o'clock position. And we supplied you with a light, so have a look with your light, and you should see it'll be a black area. It's actually metal, but it's sprayed black. And you're going to put it in so that 3 o'clock latch door is in place. Do not keep the latch door open when you do this, otherwise you won't hear the big click. Big click. What we need to do next is to pick up the thread and just check that it's sewing correctly. So I'm going to go and get some material to do this. So I've now got some material. I'm going to check out and see what the bobbin and top tension look like when I'm sewing them out. Holding the thread in your left hand, you're going to use the on-screen command, the buttons on the on-screen. So now what I'm going to do is test out the tension. On my screen, I can select what speed I'm going. I can select whether I have the needle stop in the up or the down position when I take my foot off the foot pedal. And I can also sew very slowly just by doing a half step. So if it's up, it goes down. If it's down, it goes up. Or I can keep my finger on that same button, which is the top left button, and it'll just sew slowly. So what I'd like you to do is to set your speed using the minus and plus keys to 20%. You'll see underneath the word limit, that's the speed that if you put your foot flat down on the foot pedal, that is the speed that it will go. At the top right, you'll see it currently shows 0%. As soon as I start sewing, the speed I'm going will be shown at the top right, up to a maximum of whatever is I've defined as the limit. I have 3 presets that I can set, and I'm going to go through those with you one-on-one, how we change those. For now, what we need to do is pick up the bobbin thread. We always want it to be a neat start and a neat finish, and it's really important that we run through that with you. So to get a neat start and a neat finish, hold using your left hand onto the end of the top thread, which is going through the needle. And using the top left button, which is needle up, needle down, I'm going to press it and it's going to go down. Holding onto the thread, I'm going to bring it up, and that thread now has brought up the bobbin thread. If I just move that material away, I can pick up hold of that bobbin thread, and as I do so, I'm just checking it's not caught up on something. There's no point in my continuing sewing if it doesn't pull smoothly at this point, because it ain't going to sew any better when you put your foot flat on the pedal. When you go back to the position that you picked up that bobbin thread, you're going to use that top left button again to do 2 or 3 securing stitches. We're then going to sew a little bit, 1 or 2 inches before we trim that thread. You don't want it coming undone. So using that, I'm just moving the fabric slightly as I do that so it doesn't go back over my original stitches. And now I'm just going to do a little bit of sewing. I'm going to use the sweet spots. It's one of the options on the optional packages that we've got for the Pfaff Powerquilter. These sweet spots, I find them really good. They're great for holding the fabric. So I'm going to do some test stitching. By doing up and down. What I can tell from that is if the top tension is too tight and it's pulling up the bobbin thread, I'll see the bobbin thread on the top. If it's too loose, it'll feel loose. It'll feel loopy. And I can look on the underside and just see if the top thread is showing on the bottom, in which case I need to tighten the top tension. So let's just do a few more of those. And move away and have a look. And what I can see here is that the top thread is coming through to the bottom fabric. So my tension is too loose. On the basis of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, I need to tighten it, I need to turn it to the right. And on this machine, I'm turning it away from me. So I'm going to turn it a half a turn. Nothing like the bobbin tension. I mean, on the bobbin tension, we're talking 2, 5, 10 minutes of a clock face max. On this, we're talking half, 1, or even 2 turns to change the tension. It's totally different. So I've changed it by at least half a turn. The other thing to do is to do loops. And if I look at the underside again, then that is a lot better. I'm just going to tighten it a bit more. And that's looking pretty good. So that's how we adjust the tension. We use this black knob on the top, and we're going to be going through that one-on-one with you.